there are 4 attachment styles. And if you don't know anything about attachment styles, this is basically the way we attach to other people. And my attachment style is the anxious avoidant or the disorganized attachment style, which is basically the worst attachment style that you can have. Like, I used to get these thoughts to an extent that I would not be able to focus on anything else. Like, I remember like around 6-7 months or even 8 months ago, I was trying to study in the morning. Like, I was trying to focus on the subject, and then these thoughts started to come in, and I tried to fight them. Like, for an hour I tried to fight them and I tried to beat them, but they were so powerful over me that I had to close the book and I had to stop studying and go onto YouTube and watch YouTube videos so that I can make my mind think of something else instead of thinking these thoughts. And now, bro, now like I'm at a point that even if someone is like staring at me and trying to make eye contact with me, I just lower my gaze and I don't get these thoughts at all. It's because I spent the past 6-7 months in trying to figure out how to stop these thoughts from ruining my mind. The first thing is, bro, these feelings that you are feeling are natural. They will come. Like, it's something that Allah has put into us. So don't get mad at yourself when these feelings come. Because, bro, you are a man, you are a guy. And if you get mad at yourself for getting these feelings, it's like you are getting mad at yourself for being a man. So don't do that. But don't let them affect your identity as well. So for example, let's say that you are sitting in the class and trying to focus on the lecture that the teacher is giving. But then all of a sudden these feelings start to come in. And so you don't let them become a part of your identity. You don't say that, oh my god, I have a crush or something. No, instead you isolate these feelings and you say to yourself, they are just feelings. And guess what, bro? Feelings change over time. And so if you don't let them affect your identity and you don't let them become a part of your identity, they are just feelings and they will change over time. Like, they say that you are not the feelings, you are the feeler. You are not the feelings, you are just the one who is feeling those feelings. So don't let them become a part of your identity. Like, you have to give up some ground so that you can protect more ground in reality. Like, this sounds absurd, but
let's imagine that this right here, this is your city, and this is a massive army attacking your city, and you only have like 10,000 men in here versus there of 100,000. Like, this is their massive army that is attacking you, and this is your army, this is your city. And so the dumbest thing you can do right here is that you can try to fight them on these walls. You can try to protect these walls. But what will happen is that when you try to protect these walls, the entire army will be able to attack you from all sides and completely crush your army and take over the city. And so the smart thing right here is that you can give up the outer walls. You give up the outer walls and you retreat your men back to the inner keep. So this is the inner keep. And so these are your 10,000 men right in here. And then when this massive army goes to here and then enters the city, like, you basically give up the city to this massive army, and this enters in here. But the advantage of doing this is that when you do this, the entire massive 100,000 army cannot attack you all at once from all single sides and completely crush your army. But instead, what they will have to do is that they will have to come in columns and they will have to attack you slowly but surely. So every single wave will consist of like 2,000 troops, and your 10,000 men can easily be 2,000 troops with these walls as well. You fight them on this inner keep, not on the outer walls. Basically, you are giving up ground so that you can protect your keep.
And then imagine yourself like the king of the army who is defending the city. And then when you go onto the walls to look at the enemy army on the first day, you will not see any difference in their army on the first day. But if the grind continues for like 30 days, 40 days, and then you go to the walls to look at the enemy army, you will see a big difference in the enemy army. And then another thing is that, bro, the start of the attack is always the heaviest. So this means that the first 2 lectures or even just a single lecture of your class would be the heaviest. That would be the time when these feelings will be the heaviest. And so if you can control these feelings in those 2 lectures or even just a single lecture, they will start to simmer down with time. And then as lectures pass by, they will start to simmer down. And then, bro, another thing is that, bro, a graph is not like this. Like, this graph will not be look like this, but instead it will be like this. It will go up and it will go down. It will go up and it will go down. But as long as the general trend is downwards, you will be okay. So don't be mad at yourself when on a particular day these feelings are very powerful. But just isolate these feelings and remember that you are not the feelings, you are the feeler. And then when these feelings do come, you fight them, you control them, and then you beat them. How I imagine this is that whenever these feelings come, I imagine a warrior with a sword beating these feelings. And this is for the time that when the feelings come from outside, like when you yourself are trying to fight those feelings, but like these are coming from outside. But when you want to do something, like when you want to look at someone you are not supposed to look at, or anything else of this sort, just know that Allah is watching you. Like when the feelings come from inside, like when you want to do something bad, just know that Allah is watching you. Always. Do not ever forget this statement. So we guys, like even I tend to take everything as a hint. Like for example, her bag is the same color as me. But you need to understand that, bro, this is just your mind taking it as a hint. Stop taking everything as a hint. It's because our minds are built different. What you take as a hint might be nothing and all normal from their side. And so, whenever you sense a hint ever again, just tell yourself that this is nothing. This is just my mind taking it as a hint. But in reality, it is nothing and everything is just normal. So, don't underestimate these 2 points. Like these 2 points are literally the 80% of this entire guide. Then bro, you need to understand that we are affected a lot by our environment. Our environment has a huge effect on us. Like for example, if I make you sit in a room that where everyone is sleeping, you will also feel sleepy, naturally. But if I make you sit in a room that where everyone is working out and everyone is doing some work, you will also want to do some work, even if it is just some push-ups or even if it is just studying. And similarly, when you read a romance novel, you get these feelings a lot more because that is your environment when you are reading that novel. And then when you sit with friends where these topics are discussed, you will get these feelings a lot more. Because bro, that friend group that you are currently thinking about, that is where these feelings start. And until you kick that friend group, you will always slip again and again. Because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if those 5 people are discussing these topics, no matter how hard you try, bro, you will also get these thoughts in your mind. So you need to kick that bad friend group. Like how I did this is that I basically had 2 friend groups. One was the older friend group, like that the friend group I made around 3 years ago, and the second one was the new friend group. And some of these people, some of the people in the second friend group were even on self-improvement besides me. And so what I did is in the second friend group, I basically messaged my friend and I banned this topic in our friend group. Like I told him, if you want to get advice, that is something else. But this topic is completely banned in our friend group. And the other friend group, I started to cut them off slowly but surely. And it's been around a month since I have seen any of them. Like I talked to one of them and it was something about studies. And so bro, I had to do this. I tried to get them onto self-improvement, but they were not interested in self-improvement. And sadly, I have to say that if they are not interested in self-improvement, I am not interested in them. It hurts my heart to not have them onto self-improvement. But it is what it is, and I cannot change them unless they first change themselves. After watching this video, after watching this guide, when you go to your campus again, you will get those feelings a lot less because you just watched a guide and because this energy is more powerful over those feelings. But then as days pass by, this energy will start to simmer down and this energy will start to get weaker and weaker. But those feelings will remain the same, and then those feelings will become dominant on you. And so what you want to do for this is that you want to keep giving yourself a dose of this energy. And so for this, you want to keep watching podcasts and lectures so that you can build that warrior mindset. You can build that warrior mentality for yourself. And so how I have decided to do this is that I have decided that I am going to watch at least one lecture on this topic, from a Muslim creator. on this topic every single week so that I can always have that energy on the peak. And then finally, some quick points I wanted to mention is that if you focus on building yourself right now, Allah will give you the best trade possible. And don't have an empty mind. Make yourself busy, build yourself a routine, get into some things, and then finally, bro, don't go on a mission to look for that person, you yourself alone. Like, give some importance to your parents as well on in this topic, because whether you like it or not, bro, like they deserve a lot of importance in this topic. And so do good, and I'll see you in Jannah.